In the first section, we saw for ourselves the impact language can have on our minds and therefore our bodies. We also saw how what we wear can have an impact. So, what else can we use to affect our minds positively and vitally have a positive effect on our physicality?
The experiment isn't just about living on a 70s set. For it to work, the volunteers must be pushed to forget their 2010 selves and think themselves back in time.
It makes me a little bit sad to see my younger self there look so young. I feel a little bit sad about that.
The first step is to change how they look. They'll be wearing the clothes they wore in the period for the rest of the week.
That's a great shirt.
It's got pantaloons and a long coat.
It may look like dressing up,
I wonder if I'll get around to painting again.
but Michael and Ellen are convinced that it will immediately affect mood, energy and posture.
I feel $1 million. And of course, I'm in the Cockney Rhyming Slang book. Are you wearing your Lionels? Lionel Blair's flares.
Clothing alters how you perceive yourself, how other people perceive you, and therefore how you perform.
And the ladies are getting a makeover.
You had a little nod off, didn't you? You nodded off on the sofa.
I haven't nodded off, but I have relaxed a lot, you know.
Next, they need to throw themselves into social activities and some classic 70s food and drink.
Right.
Tell you what. Glass of red, did you say? Who said a glass of red?
I did.
Oh, yeah,
What have we got?
I got red wine.
I know, but is it Chilean?
Oh, no, it's quite warm. Glass of red, Kenneth.
No, thank you.
Martini, I've got.
I'm going to come and make a martini there.
Yeah?
The volunteers think they've been given a welcome party. In fact, it's an essential part of encouraging them to leave their 2010 lives behind.
Doesn't Kenneth look different from when he first arrived?
Yeah.
Remember when he was slouching in that seat? And now he's sort of standing with, seemingly, with more pride. You can see, you know, that they seem more lively.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
What you doing later?
Lionel obviously loves always performing, but he obviously loves wearing that jacket, doesn't he? You can see he's enjoying it.
So how we dress and how we act can have a dramatic and instant impact. Let's look at other ways we can positively affect our minds and bodies.
Do you start doing less physical exercise as you get older because you're less capable of doing physical exercise?
It's not really the physical thing, it's the mental thing. It's the block, basically. I don't do that sort of stuff. I don't go and play in the garden, kick the ball around. I don't go for walks, because that's not old people do. The risk is you don't recognise just how useful exercise is for keeping your brain going. Because what you need is you need blood to go to your brain. You need all those wonderful, rich nutrients to reach your brain. And if they're not getting there, then your brain is going to suffer, and ultimately your brain is you.
Michael and Ellen have arranged for 68-year-old yoga guru Barbara Carey to teach the same class she did in 1975.
I don't know whether I can do it or not, because when I go to the physiotherapist, I'm on a table.
Right, OK,
Nobody's
don't
asked
you
me to lie
worry.
on the floor for some
Look,
time.
I won't... You'll love it, honestly. You really will.
I know yoga. I've done yoga.
Right.
And that was before I couldn't walk.
OK.
76-year-old Sylvia has long given up on exercise classes, but the only way she'll regain her energy will be to get down with the 70s vibe like everyone else.
If it's possible, we'll stretch the hamstrings. Bring the right foot into the middle and gently lift that leg and stretch it up as far as you can. That's good. Now, you see, that's a little tiny bit today, but done daily, eventually the chin will reach the knee.
Oh.
And relax. It will.
I've never been loose in my legs, isn't it funny?
Ah, now's the time
Never.
to start. Now, how about getting rid of a turkey neck?
Turkey neck, yeah.
Head back. The teeth to the nose and relax. Fantastic. And it takes years off you when you get rid of that double chin. Anyway, roll the head slowly to the right and roll it slowly.
Slowly, yeah.
That's a good exercise for
Yeah.
getting the tension away.
It is, because we all tense up in the
Oh,
neck,
yeah,
you
in
know.
the neck.
Now wag your backside around. Go on, wag it, go on, get a bit of a rhythm into it. Move it around, that's good. And now take your bottom to your heels. Work your back now, stick your bottom out, and look up at the ceiling. Eyes on the ceiling. Good, Liz.
It is very impressive, isn't it? She was in a wheelchair, she didn't think she could do anything, and now here she is virtually doing press-ups.
Now keep your eyes on the spot on the floor, and if you can, grab that foot. Don't sway, that's good. And relax, well done. How about that?
It was great doing it in the group. I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed seeing people who are more infirm than me, who find it difficult, they were enjoying it too.
Do you want a hand up?
I'll do it, but it's painful on the knees. Don't help. I'll do it myself.
Are you sure? Because I could get Lionel to help.
No.
No, all right. OK.
Look at that. You would have said yesterday, never.
Yes. Certainly she would have said never.
Even doing this, Sylvia, is very beneficial.
I wouldn't be walking if I hadn't been doing it.
There we saw some yoga, but it doesn't have to be that. We each wake with a certain amount of energy. Now we can take that energy and we can invest it wisely, we can spend it freely, or we can throw it out the window. But if we invest our energy, if we take our energy and spend it on something we love, it gives us a sense of achievement. It's simply a case of setting priorities. How many people do you know have lain on their deathbed wishing they cleaned the kitchen cupboards more often? We've all heard of gym junkies. Now they exercise and they get hooked on the feel-good chemicals, the endorphins racing round their brains. By choosing our exercise, by doing something for which we have a passion, we can truly bring more energy to ourselves.
But there's one person who's more in need of a mental workout, 77-year-old Dickie Baird. Michael wants to test whether this new environment has had any effect on his memory.
I'm going to try and test your memory of what are the things you forget that matter to you?
I can't remember what I've done this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
So the day room is just behind us over there?
Yeah.
What can you remember about it? What colour are the wallpaper?
Oh, I don't worry about wallpapers and things like that.
What books have you noticed or remembered?
I've remembered all the cricket books.
Okay.
What's in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I remember all that. I remember all the photographs of when I played with Leicestershire and with Yorkshire. A lovely photograph of the Queen, because I am a royalist.
So you do actually have quite a good memory because you can remember an awful lot of things that we put in your room.
Yes.
It's just whether you care about it. You say you've got a problem with your memory. It's not that. It's whether you care about the stuff. The things you care about, you notice and you remember.
Yeah. Hard day, very hard day.
To show Dickie that his memory is not as bad as he thinks, Michael wants him to memorise a conveyor belt of items from a classic episode of the Generation Game. He's also recruited a glamorous assistant.
She's pretty good, she is. She's pretty good.
Chair. A toy hippopotamus. A vacuum cleaner. A leather writing case. A cuddly donkey. Candle holders and candles.
She's put them down now, then.
I'm cheating. I'm cheating.
No, not now.
A radio. A decanter and glasses. 3 goblets. A herb wheel.
Okay, you've got 1 minute to remember all those things. I'm to remember them.
The thing is, they show you too many.
Yes.
Yeah, there's too many,
point.
love. That's the point.
It's better not to look after the first, second.
I remember a donkey.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got a silver plate, 2 leather cases, cuddly toy, coffee maker, decanter, hippopotamus, cuddly toy, set of glasses, radio, a grill, home decorator, blanket.
Okay, let's have a look at your list, Liz.
I'd rather you didn't look. I'm ashamed of it.
Down.
Dickie, I can tell you did better than Liz.
I did better, did I?
You
You're
did
a
actually
good
pretty
boy.
decently. Yeah.
Go to the top of the class.
Good fun.
So I reckon your memory is not as bad as you think it is.
Haha, the PVC moment strikes again. However, if we attach importance, and therefore emotion to the fact, we have a better chance of remembering it. And so, with just 1 day done, already we're seeing differences with the participants.
It's been 24 hours now, and I mean, I have to say, having come at it from quite a sceptical point of view,
I'm amazed already at the changes that are going on. Perhaps you'd like to kind of detail what's been happening in the house.
There are a lot of really good things. I mean, there have been some really good stuff and some less good stuff at the moment. Derek has been marvellous, I have to say. The shelf fell down, and Derek got down, and he was lying on the floor, he was sorting stuff out. He's really getting into it, I have to say. He was also upstairs, he's got his notebook, and he's getting into the whole thing of 1975 speak. He's really immersed himself in it.
Liz seems to have been doing well also.
She looks fabulous.
Yeah, and she's
I think
excited.
Liz, slightly frustrating for me, because Liz is brilliant. She gets into the kitchen, she moves...
Well,
she went without the sticks, which is fabulous. But almost immediately afterwards, she got the sticks, and she's adopted the old person shuffle again.
I mean, you've definitely got to say there's been a bit of a change already, don't you? Lionel and Dickie playing football in the garden.
Playing in bird, yeah. If they see, hey, if they see us here, they'll sign us on.
I love it when they do that.
You've played before.
But I mean, it's interesting. Dickie this morning looks incredible, doesn't he? He's full of life, he's perky.
We must be feeling younger like
It must be. It must have happened overnight.
It's happened overnight.
Even after the clip of the boys playing football, there is still scepticism within the camp. This is them talking the next morning. Listen to Kenneth ask, what are they doing to make this achievable? Referring to the experts when they themselves have the answers.
The volunteers may be settling into living in 1975, but they're not all convinced the experiment is working.
7 days I don't think is long enough to show a real difference.
That's a good point.
I can't honestly see how it can in such a short time.
I will be very surprised when we go back that there will be much difference. In fact, some of it might be worse.
I want to be able to tie up my own shoelaces. At the moment, I can't get down there. I'd like to be able to put on a pair of socks without falling off the chair. This doesn't sound much, but I'm no closer than I was a week ago.
Why do you think this experiment would help people achieve that? I can't understand what are they doing to make that possible?
It's in our best interest that this should work. Obviously, we want it to work. What's the point of coming here and locking ourselves away for a week if it doesn't work?
Our volunteers have no idea that the experiment is about to become even more challenging. The next stage will push them to take back the control over their lives that many people give up as they age. I mean, why do they need to take control? Surely you come to a certain point in your life and you know, it's quite nice to relinquish control. Isn't that what we look forward to?
When you take control away from human beings, they deteriorate.
We gave choices to people in nursing homes. And simple choices, things like, do you want a plant? Which plant do you want? We told them that they should be deciding where to visit with people. And even these simple choices had phenomenal effects. They ended up living longer.
Have you ever done a barbecue?
No,
neither have I. Do you put the coals underneath or the wood underneath or what?
You get to a point where you think this older person is incapable. They're basically less physically capable, and therefore you assume they're mentally less capable, and therefore you're going to make the decisions for them because you know what's best for them. They make a decision, and you think, no, they'll fall over, they'll hurt themselves. I'm going to look after them. And that's what happens. And it's really, really bad.
What you will see in the next few clips are the consequences of choice. As seen before, the way we dress, how we exercise, our activities, mental and physical. Even music can affect us. Watch the difference just a few well-chosen hours can make.
To help them really feel like their younger selves, they must take on the specific roles they had in 1975, from work to family duties to favourite activities. But putting their elderly selves behind them will not be easy. 77-year-old Dickie lives on his own, and he can often go days without seeing anyone. He's already benefited from being around the other 5 volunteers, and he seems to be responding most quickly to the experiment.
We must be feeling younger like
It must be. It must have happened overnight.
It's happened overnight.
Michael wants to take Dickie back to the peak of his career. He wants him to relive the day in 1975 when he umpired the most important match of his life. The first ever Cricket World Cup final at Lord's.
I feel a little nervous, you know, really, as time goes on.
you know, you remember that you did the final, but you forget most of the things, and this will bring back so much to me. We're here. Bag of nerves.
Can Dickie forget his 77-year-old self? Going through the pre-match ritual starts Dickie back on his journey to 1975.
Check the cricket balls. They're all okay. Bale's spare ball, 6 counters, you see, brings back memories. In the pocket, then I'm all ready. This will always stand out, and it will always be in my heart. I've lump in my throat, see, because it's brought back some wonderful memories. Wonderful memories.
For Dickie, reliving the high point of his career has a huge impact.
I feel I've done the World Cup final. Yeah, I think that it's done me the world of good this morning. I am a bubbly character, I used to be anyway, and I lost all that, but I think that's come back.
Now, Dickie has been having a good laugh, which is really nice to see. And I saw one study which suggested that if you laugh 20 seconds, it would double your heart rate, keep it there for several minutes, and it was like the equivalent of rowing vigorously for about 3 minutes.
Well, the kind of belly laugh that he's been going through, I think that he's bought himself a lot of time.
If you didn't laugh, you go crazy, you know. If you didn't laugh, you go bonk, wouldn't you? I haven't laughed as much as I've laughed for a long, long time.
Well, that's very good.
Have you?
No, it's very funny.
If I keep making the progress that I am, I shall be a new man.
After seeing Dickie laughing his socks off, you can really start to see the effect that choices can have on your mind, and hence your physicality. Anyway, speaking of socks, you remember Derek?
Halfway through the experiment, 80-year-old Derek is feeling more confident.
This is very good for me. Everything is better. I'm doing things. I'm going back to the way it was in 1975, and that can only be a good thing.
Derek may be feeling better, but his test results showed he had poor balance, flexibility and stamina. And so far, he's been unable to achieve his most pressing goal.
I still can't get my socks on. It's just impossible. I mean, it's really a nightmare. And come the end of this 7-day experiment, I'm hoping that I'll be able to. Now then, Lionel.
Yes, sir.
I told you I couldn't get my socks on.
Yeah.
And you told me you would show me how to do it. Don't touch them, because I've got to learn to do it myself.
I'm not going to. Look, I'll...
I can get this one on.
Ooh, let's have a look. Now we're seeing something.
Oh, wonderful.
Now we can see.
Derek is going to put his sock on.
This is one of his ambitions.
I thought I could, but I can't do it.
You can.
Do you know, you've got lovely skin.
Yeah. Have you seen the internet?
Lovely
Fantastic.
skin.
I should have been a girl.
Do you know, your body is beautiful. It really is.
Oh, Liz, I wish it were.
Turn
It was once upon a time. Yes, down in. I put
Now,
this...
lean your leg, that leg, against that. Can you get it up there?
With great difficulty, right.
Now try putting the sock on.
I can't get down there. I can't get anywhere near it. Look, can't get anywhere near it, Lionel.
You know what's in the way?
Your tummy.
That.
Yeah.
That.
Okay, now
Well, look at this.
he's going to go for it again. He's going to go for it again.
I've done it.
Hey, hey, hey. Hold this bit.
I've
Is that a
done
good
it.
way?
Hooray!
How's that?
Hooray!
Yeah, the problem...
Hooray!
The problem is...
You're exhausted.
That's the easy one.
A great example of what you can achieve when you set your mind to it. Did you notice when Derek was speaking negatively and when he was speaking positively? Did you see the difference it made when he became more positive about his impossible goal? We're going to watch Sylvia now. Is any of her language familiar to you?
It's not just Derek who's shown signs of physical improvement. 76-year-old Sylvia came into the experiment hoping to tackle her dramatically low energy levels.
It's quite hard if you feel tired all the time. And I think that's what makes me sound very bad-tempered. I'm exhausted.
In 2010, Sylvia has more time to feel tired than she did in 1975, when she was juggling kids and a demanding career. Michael and Ellen believe that if she has to be energetic, she'll rise to the challenge.
In 75, she was looking after a busy household, lots of kids friends, everybody running around.
So, for the next 3 hours, Sylvia will be in charge of entertaining 6 excitable children.
Oh, here they come. Fabulous.
Come through because we've got a great big garden and a paddling pool. So you can take your shoes and socks off.
Hello. How are you?
That's it, you've got it, almost got it.
And it's 1975 toys only, so there's no DVDs or computer games to keep the kids occupied.
Who likes riding bikes? Off we go.
Now watch Sylvia. She's moving around like she's 20 years younger. It's hard to imagine that she thinks her problem is that she's lazy.
Straight down there, turn round and come back.
Although it's Sylvia's challenge, the others can't help but join in.
I surrender. Oh, he shot me with a water pistol.
I got you.
What's lovely about what you see with Sylvia is she is so mobile. She doesn't stop and huff and puff. I mean, what it demonstrates is she's fully engaged with these kids. She doesn't think of it as exercise. She doesn't think of herself as being lazy.
Well done.
Let her own grandchildren adore her.
That is her sorrow.
She hasn't got any
She
grandchildren.
hasn't got any, no.
Sylvia hasn't sat still since the kids arrived 2 hours ago.
Ice cream man here, but he can't get his shoe on.
Alex, no.
Come on.
The other volunteers are free to help her, but Liz and Kenneth have barely moved.
I must confess, I've done nothing. How do we walk?
Well, not quite as badly as that, I hope. You see, they're copying us with the sticks. Clever. That's funny.
Come in the kitchen, you lot. Come on, marching ladies first.
Finally, Kenneth sees an opportunity to join in.
You see what they're doing over here. How do you do these things, I wonder? What do? You sit on them and bounce? Ooh. No, I don't think I fall over on my back again. Thank you very much.
After a very active 3 hours, the kids leave the house.
Most wonderful children. Oh, it makes me feel quite extraordinary. My heart is beating with joy. Go ahead, door kids. In terms of physical things, my walking is better. I think I have more energy. And it was a joy to have those children. It was a joy.
But granted, it's different strokes for different folks. If, however, we can find what does it for us, what floats our boat, what we want to do, what we feel passionate about, we can have the same effects.
In 1975, dogs were central to Kenneth's life. Michael hopes that giving Kenneth dogs to look after will help him regain the confidence he had as a young man.
Kenneth was a big news guy in the 1970s, and he spent a lot of time behind his desk. But what he really liked doing is he had a couple of dogs, and he used to take them out for walks all the time, and those were really treasured memories to him. And that's kind of why I wanted him to go back. And
why doesn't he have a pet now?
I think he sees himself as old now, you know, so he sees himself as unable to look after a pet, and I think he's probably wrong.
You know, one of the major benefits, of course, to having a dog is the feeling of mastery and control. That there you are taking care of something, and that's been taken away from many people when they're old.
Come
So, for the last remaining days of the experiment, Kenneth has two little surprises to look after, Paddy and Daisy.
Look at that little doggy's face. Look at that little doggy's face. Hello. Hello. Oh, fabulous. You've got the right kind of dogs and everything. Hello. Hello. Come on. Let me get in. Let me get in. Come on. Move.
And he's off to take them for a walk in his favourite 1975 park.
In 1975, I was first able to have dogs because it was the first time that I had a garden when I was living in London. I got two little long-haired Daxies like these, and one was called Kiwi, one was called Pedro. Well, I'm going to take them where I used to walk them, in Ealing, where I lived. Oh, it was a lovely feeling having dogs here. They're gorgeous. Good boy. Daisy! Daisy! Good boy. Good boy. Come on, Daisy. Good girl.
Kenneth may have slipped happily into his former life as a dog owner, but Michael's plan hasn't yet stopped him feeling incapable of looking after dogs in 2010.
Well, I'm enjoying it, but I think he may have done a serious disservice to me because now I should want my own dogs again. Which I think is bad. I might even kidnap these two or dog-nap these two.
Oh, that's not fair. Are they yours? Oh, look who's that.
Oh, look at it. Oh, look.
How many of these have we got?
Oh, look.
Oh,
bless him.
Kenneth is looking good with the dogs.
Cute dogs.
Yeah, cute dogs, aren't they?
I'm a big believer in pets. I'm sure of it. They're good for your health and well-being.
They are. I mean, the studies I've seen in the UK suggest that people who have pets, they basically go to the doctor about 20% less than people who don't have pets.
Can you manage two?
Yes, got two till Friday.
How's the balance?
All right.
Have you noticed any change, any improvement there?
No.
But I tell you something, you're walking straighter. I don't care what you say.
I mean, I think Kenneth and dogs go together. You can see he's very, very comfortable. It's a mistake for him to turn his back on something that is so important to him.
Hopefully, he'll see that he was able to be with them.
I think it's a challenge for Kenneth. I don't think yet it's a breakthrough for Kenneth. I think if Kenneth, as a result of this, decides he will take on a dog, and if that proves to be a good thing, then that will be a breakthrough for Kenneth.
As the man says, it's still a challenge and not a breakthrough yet. It's very easy to do something once, feel discomfort with it, and then do it once more just to prove to ourselves that we couldn't do it in the first place. You can see from the examples there are many ways to institute a change. However, only we can do it. And change is rarely comfortable. If you have a second, quickly find a pen and jot down your name. Maybe even 3 times just to prove how easy it is. Now, jot down your name 3 times again, but this time use your other hand. Now how would that feel? Comfortable? Challenging? Impossible? Now imagine that you had to use your other hand. With time, it would become easier. Advertising is full of 21-day challenges, 28-day challenges, because they know that once we've been doing something for a month, it's no longer uncomfortable. It's very much a habit. So what new habits would you like to have? Is there anything that you would dearly love to do, but you've not got round to it yet? What would you choose to do?
Liz has to keep moving. She's been warned that if she doesn't walk more often, she may lose the ability to do so altogether. In In the 70s, Liz's big passion was painting, but she hasn't painted since her strokes. And like many stroke victims, Liz doubts her ability to do the things she once loved.
One reason why Liz said she stopped painting was she lost the dexterity. But when you look at her, you know,
Her
knitting...
crocheting, look at how dexterous she is.
Michael wants Liz to tackle a blank canvas for the first time in over a year. It's a massive challenge for a woman who's stopped even making cups of tea for herself.
I would be interested to see with Liz if we can reignite her interest in painting, where that will take her.
All of the things that we do, when we experience ourselves not doing them for a while, we're hesitant to start them again.
This afternoon, the volunteers are watching the 1975 Wimbledon men's final. It's a perfect opportunity for Liz to paint some stationary subjects.
Oh, as for me, I've forgotten how to paint.
If she chooses to take it.
I've forgotten how.
If Liz finds she can paint again, Michael and Ellen hope it will show her just how much else she can do. Liz's models are ready to get in position, but Liz is still deliberating.
I can't do anything, you see, no.
Are you going to try?
Yes.
Liz has been sitting at the easel for 20 minutes, but she hasn't yet picked up her brush.
But she doesn't want to know, she doesn't want to discover that she can't do it, I guess. She's afraid that she's going to discover she can't do it, and so she's putting off the evil moment, isn't she?
So down onto the court, where players of this experience
here we go.
Class have gone through this many times before, but Arthur Ashe never for the singles final at Wimbledon. He's been in the doubles final at Wimbledon, and that is his only experience of a doubles final. That was in...
Considering she hasn't painted since she had the stroke and she couldn't paint and she had no manual dexterity and it was all gone, I thought it was quite a confidence to the stroke.
Arthur Ashe. Compared to Moonlight, Arthur Ashe. While sorting themselves out there at the chair, perhaps we could have a look at the royal box, because this is another royal occasion.
I thought it was Princess Anne there, but it's John McEnroe.
Wimbledon, was that?
Wimbledon. Hit royal box.
Ah.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
Ashley, it's 2 games to 1.
Shall I sign it?
I think one can only describe that as a sensational set. One of the heaviest favorites.
Do you think she'll be pleased?
Oh, she's signing it, so she's pleased.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the point. She's put a signature on, so she's owned it.
I'm feeling pretty good, really. Because I've never dared to touch any paint again. I felt I couldn't paint at all, not at all. And this week, and you suggested I did some, I was a bit horrified because I knew I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm really not, there's a germ of something else in it that makes me feel I want to do it again and again and again and get a bit better. I'd never be as good as I could in the past, but I'd like to have a go again. I would.
And I think considering that is the first picture she has done since she had a series of major strokes, I think that is really quite remarkable.
And being as objective as I can, I think it's terrific.
I think it's terrific.
I feel I've broken the spell on it.
Yes,
you
that's
know.
right. You've done very well,
yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah. Oh.
You've done very well.
You know, if I felt capable of doing one little thing, it encourages me to try something else that I felt I couldn't do anymore.
So what we've seen are some examples of achievement and what we can do to make it happen. Some of the words used over and again are confidence, choice, and inspiration. Now here are a few more examples of clearly visible change achieved in just a few days.
Clothing alters how you perceive yourself, how other people perceive you, and therefore how you perform.
And the ladies are getting a makeover.
You had a little nod off, didn't you? You nodded off on the sofa.
I haven't nodded off, but I have relaxed a lot, you know.
Next, they need to throw themselves into social activities and some classic 70s food and drink.
Right. Tell you what I've got here. Tell you what. Glass of red, did you say? Who said a glass of red?
I did.
Oh, yeah,
What have we got?
I got red wine.
I know, but is it Chilean?
Oh, no, it's quite warm. Glass of red, Kenneth?
No, thank you.
Martini, I've got.
I'm going to come and make a martini there.
Yeah?
The volunteers think they've been given a welcome party. In fact, it's an essential part of encouraging them to leave their 2010 lives behind.
Doesn't Kenneth look different from when he first arrived? Yeah. Remember he was slouching in that seat? And now he's sort of standing with, seemingly, with more pride. You can see, you know, that they seem more lively.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
What you doing later?
Lionel obviously loves performing, but he obviously loves wearing that jacket, doesn't he? You can see he's enjoying it.
And it's not just Liz doing things she never thought would be possible. Dickie and Derek's friendship has gone from strength to strength. Derek's found himself a personal trainer.
And eventually you'll get right down to you'll be able to touch if you touch your feet like that.
Oh, I see, yes.
Both hands. They're simple, these are simple. These are what we can do at our age. No trouble. That's right, yeah. Ah, Derek. Marvellous. Marvellous, Derek. and another good one is a step up.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I don't do stairs.
Marvellous. Marvellous, Derek. Marvellous.
Get off.
You got to do 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You did that. No, you did that.
And the rest.
No, you did all right.
Although helping Derek has been the key to getting him more mobile, the volunteers have realised that the best way to get Liz moving again is to stop helping her.
One more step. Go. Good girl. Hold the thing firmly.
I've got 2 articles in this hand.
I'm aware of that, and you're managing very well. Just put them on the table. See? You can do it.
As long as I get it to the sink.
You will.
I'm aiming for over there. Ooh.
Good.
First time I've ever done that.
But
No,
look,
I
you're
show that-
one stick carrying something. Now,
Yeah.
come on, that's tremendous.
Oh, it's tremendous. Oh.
Encouraged by Sylvia, Liz has walked 20 steps with just one stick for the first time since her strokes. And she keeps going.
Now, a few days ago, to see an expanse of flooring like this would have terrified me.
I know.
And I've crossed it now.
But, sweetheart, there's been such a change in you, like when you try and sit down.
Yeah.
Changing confidence
Yes.
is what it does.
Confidence.
Maybe it's not just the period you're back in, but the actual business of being with a group of people.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's a sociable atmosphere.
Thank you very much for your help and assistance. By being around people like this that have inspired me to try a bit more and do a bit extra and found I could manage it. Now I feel I can want a cup of tea or something like that and go and get it myself. So I'm thrilled to bits.
I can't quite... What I haven't quite understood is the correlation between the physical well-being and taking us back to 75.
It works almost the way, you know how placebos work somehow? You take this pill, and all of a sudden you're better. But it's not the pill that's making you better, right? Because it's a sugar pill. Yeah. So who's making you better? You're making yourself. Yeah. And so it's a way of getting people to basically take a placebo, put them back in time where they felt vital, and then they can experience without being stopped by the mindset, that says you can't.
You say it's a placebo, but I do assure you that the pain lessened.
Did you discover any changes in your energy levels?
Yes.
Are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised. I really believed in it.